welcome to my channel. My name is Notori, and for those who don't know, I am actually a up-and-coming hairstylist, hairdresser, cosmetologist, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now this is actually the first episode of my hair talk series, and as you guys seen by that title, I've seen a lot of people tend to have this conversation debating on how they're being charged when it comes to getting their hair done. Is it really anti-black to get charged more for your hair type? Or is it true that these hairstylists are really just charging because it takes a lot more time to get their hair done, which is AKA high density hair? So that's actually the whole point of this whole video today, and I'm gonna actually dig deeper into this so you guys can really understand how you're being treated as a client, and also as a hairstylist, how you're treating your clients, and need to better understand what your prices are representing, and if you are really having a clear conversation as a hairstylist. Are you really having a clear conversation with your client about their hair and why you're charging the price that you're charging them? Okay, now first things first, what is hair density? Now, as a black person, as a hairstylist, as just a person in general, I'm not even gonna just go too deep into that, I'm obsessed with hair. And I never really knew what hair density was. Like, I'm in school right now, and I just learned what hair density was and how important it is. And really something that really you have to take into consideration when you're doing somebody's hair, because it will really determine how much time you're going to take on their hair and how much product you're going to use. Now, the actual definition of density, though, is the amount of hair strands you have per square inch in your head. So that means if you were to actually section out a square inch of hair in your scalp, how many hair strands will be in there? Will it be like really not that many hair strands, kind of thin, you can see through to your scalp? Or will it be really thick and you have to really probably section it a little bit more to really see a clear visual of your scalp, basically? Now, if you do tend to have, like I said, with the less strands and there's not much hair there and everything like that, you could have a clear visual of your scalp. Yes, that means you have low density. Okay, nothing wrong with having low density hair. It's really just the fact that your hair is just much thinner and everything like that. Like I said, it's not really a bad thing. It's really common, but a lot of people just get it confused with the texture of your hair, which plays a part. So when you have curly hair, or extra curly hair, or kinky hair, or however you want to describe your natural hair, not all the time your hair is going to be thick or is it going to be high density. Like my mom, for example, I wish she was here so I can show you, but my mom, for example, she has really curly hair. She has, I want to say, like type 3C, type 4A hair, but her hair is very thin, like very thin, but it curls up so much so when it's in its natural state, it can appear full, but it's not really full. So a lot of people tend to get that confused. So that's why when it comes down to actually doing a consultation and understanding density, you'll understand that, okay, once I wet this person's hair, okay, I'm realizing there's not much hair in their head, so I'm not going to really have to use much hair products with them, because all it's going to do is just weigh their hair down or cause way too much product buildup, which, like I said, also porosity plays a point in that too. But that's where it comes down to actually being smart and doing a proper consultation before you even work with a client, okay? And that's basically where my next question is coming to. What is a consultation? Have you ever been to a salon? Have you ever just had a service done by anybody? You know that moment when you know, they call you up, sit you down, you know, talking, you see how you doing, how your day going, all that stuff like that. And they start asking you questions like, oh, how do you want your hair? Or when was the last time you've been to a salon? Or like, what are you doing later today? Like, it's so many things they'll ask you about, and you may feel like you're being interviewed, but all they're doing is really better understanding you and your lifestyle, so they can really understand how products they use and the actual certain styles that they put into your hair will work for you as an individual person. That's literally what a consultation is. That's all it is. It's just a series of questions of in the actual definition in my words, is a series of questions asked by a stylist to better understand a client's density, their elasticity, their porosity, their texture, and their hair history. Now, that's why I was explaining that before, because when you do a proper consultation, you'll better understand a client's hair, so that when it comes down to the products that you use, you don't find yourself using way too many products in their hair. Now, this is where a lot of people get confused with the charging and everything like that, because if you have higher density hair, like I said, you're going to have to use more product. So that means if you're paying for the product, if you're paying for some hair color, you're paying for some conditioner, some shampoo, whatever it is you're using on your client's hair, no matter what, if you find yourself using more on it on one particular guest than you would use on an average guest, then yes, you do have to charge more for that. And that's mainly just based off of density. That's not anti-black. That's not, oh, just because you like got thick hair, I'm gonna just charge you more because now I gotta spend all this time on you. And no, it's literally as an entrepreneur, as a business person, you have to understand the product you're putting out, you have to replace. So if you realize that you have to use more of this product on a certain person, you have to literally charge them accordingly. Okay, so that's one thing you have to understand. Now, what is actually anti-black, which I want y'all to understand, and I'm gonna need y'all hairstylists to understand this too. Now, I had y'all back in the beginning, okay, but we need to really have a talk. When it comes down to charging your clients, you should not be charging them based off their hair type. Don't do that. Just cut that out. I understand you in your mind, it may be smarter because you're like, okay, now you know what type of customer is going to be coming in and everything like that. But at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, most customers don't really know hair like that. That's the whole point of them coming to you. So if you're asking them what their hair type is before they even come in, 9 times out of 10, you go make them turn away because 1, they don't know how to answer the question because they don't know what their hair type is. 2, they're probably going to select the most cheapest hair type because they're trying to be within their budget. And then 3, like, most people have multiple hair types in their head. So you can't charge somebody for a 4C hairstyle if they have 4C in one spot, 4B in another spot, and 4A in the front. Like, it's just not going to work. Like, how are you going to charge based off that? So all you're going to do is just confuse yourself and confuse your clients in the meantime. So in my opinion, just don't even do that. Don't even charge based off of hair type. It's just going to cause way too much confusion, okay? Next thing is, excuse me, y'all, if I sound congested, I got asthma, so I get clouded. But nah, the next thing is, do not, and I repeat, do not, and I don't care what service you do, but do not charge your clients full price. If you're going to tell them to, hey, I'm gonna need you to come in with your hair stretched before, or I'm gonna need you to come in with your hair detangled before, or I'm gonna need you to come in with your hair washed before, like, or I'm gonna need you to come in with your hair braided before. Like, what? Like, why would you charge somebody hundreds of dollars for a job that they already did halfway at home? Like, make it make sense. Like, it don't even make sense to me, and I'm a hairstylist. Like, why would you charge somebody to do the work that you're supposed to do? Like, the whole point of them coming to you is because 1, they either don't know how to do hair, or 2, 9 times out of 10, they don't feel like doing their hair, so they're charging somebody to do it for them. Duh. Like, come on now. So when it comes down to that, you, especially if you're a black hairstylist, and I mean this in the most humblest way possible, but if you have black hair, you have natural hair, so you should already know how to detangle hair. You, at this point now, the fact that you've had so many clients and the fact that you've done this hairstyle probably multiple times, especially if you're like a braider, especially if you're just like a person who only do wigs, and you got a good clientele. Obviously you got people coming in to come to do the work on them. You've obviously done this work several times. Why haven't you now learned the basics of detangling hair, especially natural hair? It's not hard. And this is another thing where density and porosity plays a part, because if you understand your client's density, you will understand, okay, I have to work in smaller sections to detangle their hair. But if you understand their porosity, you will also understand that, okay, I may have to use a lot of water in their hair, or I may not have to use much water in their hair to detangle their hair. So you don't have to be a hairstylist to know that. This is basic information you should just know as a Black woman, or as a woman with a natural hair, any type of hair, period. This is just something you should know. So for the fact that you getting paid, okay, to be doing people's hair, you got clientele coming in, you got all these things going for yourself, but the one thing you can't do is detangle hair. It don't even make sense. That's something you should really be teaching yourself and start getting used to it, so that once you get in the rhythm of it, it's nothing to you. Just how braiding nothing to you, just how installing the wig is nothing to you, it should be nothing to you. Nobody wants to come in and have the work already halfway done. They might as well just do the hair at home. It'll be much cheaper. It'll save them so much time and money. But yet they come in and pay you $200, $300, $400, $500, however much you're charging, just for you to what? Tell them that they can't, you about to turn them away because their hair is not detangled or it's not stretched out. How would you even know if that person even wants their hair to be in that predicament in the first place? A lot of people could be in their transitioning phase of doing their hair. So that means that they don't even want the high tension on their hair, which I've heard too. A lot of people don't even want that. You can still braid somebody's hair and it still be in its natural state and it still come out sleek. You just have to know what you're doing. That's it. And if you don't know what you're doing, that is okay. It is okay to teach yourself. It is okay to do the research and learn. Shoot, I'm still learning too. This is why I've created this page. This is why I created this series, just to teach everybody the things that I feel like not everybody's scared to talk about, but everybody really has a hard time with communicating with. So this is why I created this platform. Now, this is why a lot of people tend to say that a lot of these new hairstylists, especially a lot of new Black hairstylists, tend to have a lot of bad customer service, which is another video I'm gonna get into at another time. But y'all really have to, or we have to really come together and talk to each other, really understand each other, and stop just looking at people like dollar signs. You got into this career because it's what you love and what you love to do. Better understand the reason a person comes to you as a hairstylist, as a hairdresser, as a cosmetologist, whatever service you're doing, the reason they come into you is because they trust you, they like your work, and they believe that the fact that you're going to help them look better and be better. And you have to believe in that yourself. So hey, let's just go ahead and just accept what is. Accept what is. Okay. But that's all I have to say for today. I hope I was able to explain this in the best way that I possibly could. If you really enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and go ahead and press that notification bell so you be sure to be the first to know whenever I drop my next episode. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.